Good day, I am Antoinette UGAT, and for this video, I will be presenting the project management plan updates for the OPOL-CANITOAN Diversion Road project for our group. So before we discuss, here are the contents of what we will be reporting for this video. So first is the project overview, the project scope, acquired plans, the work breakdown structure for the project, the cost and budget estimates, and the S-curve. So, before anything else, we are going to review what our project is all about. So, it's a brief explanation. Our project is a 6.74 kilometer four-lane road complete with safety features, road signages, and drainage systems. It is a diversion road or a construction of a four-lane diversion road. So to discuss further about the scope of this project, we have curated a scope management plan. And of course, from the knowledge areas, we have five processes for the project scope management. First is the plan scope management, collect requirements, define scope, create the WBS or the work breakdown structure, validate scope, and control scope. So these five processes are important to curate the scope management plan. And the scope management plan, our foundation for it is the project charter that we have developed from the past weeks. So to discuss further about our defined scope, for the project is we listed down functionalities that is within the scope of the OPOL-CANITOAN Diversion Road. So first is we have the road construction and pavement, the installation of drainage systems, installation of safety features like guardrails and barriers, safety features along curves, and as well as installation of traffic management systems, or for example, the markings for lanes and road signages. So, part of the project scope management plan is to discuss also the functionalities that is outside the scope of the project. So, listed here are the out of the project scope. So, first is the land acquisition beyond approved boundaries. So, of course, we are not allowed to acquire land that is beyond the approved boundaries. Again, part of the five processes for the scope management plan is to collect requirements, and part of that is permits that is for the approval of the project. So it is out of the project scope to have land acquisitions beyond the approved boundaries based from the permits from our requirements. Along with this, out of the project scope is the construction of non-road facilities, for example, the parks or recreational spaces along or within the road that we will be that is constructed for the project. So it is out of the project scope to construct parks or recreational spaces or non-road facilities, as well as the development of residential or commercial properties. So, apart from the out of project scope is the exclusions section for the project management plan. So, the project exclusions are the list of what is outside the boundaries of the projects, like updates for a later project or already not part of the project and will be part of a separate project. So, project exclusions for the construction of OPOL-CANITOAN Diversion Road is future expansion and routine maintenance post completion. So, upon completing the diversion road, it is um, excluded the routine maintenance as well as the public transportation development, any land development of commercial or residential zones along the new road, and the landscaping beyond basic roadside areas. So it is um, excluded from the project and will be part of a separate project. So it is not part of our project. So the entire scope of the project is the four-lane diversion road, and along that new road corridor is It is excluded to have any land development of commercial or residential zones, and as well as the development of further public transportation or landscaping.
So moving on, we have here the acquired plans for our project. We have the detailed engineering design plan. So in the right figure, we can see here the sidewalk and the drainage design. And these will be used for the estimates. And in the left figure, we have here the aerial photo for the design of the road. And on the right, we have here several of the traffic signs and hazard markers that will be used during the construction phase. Furthermore, we also have these acquired plans. So these are from the DPWH website. So we just have to search for what region we are in, and it will show here the project that we want to find and its price and the contract starting and so online we have found the bill of quantities for these projects. So since each contract has limited or like kulang ilahang ilang parts, we have decided to combine the parts which are missing to the other contracts. And for the work breakdown structure, we have here 1.1, which is the facilities for the engineer, which contains operation and maintenance of field office for the engineer. So next is the other general requirements, which contains the project billboard, traffic management, mobilization, and demobilization. Next is for earthworks. We have here clearing and grubbing, structure excavation, foundation fill, surplus common foundation, and pipes and culverts, and subgrade preparation with common material. For the courses, we have sub-base and base course, which contains aggregate sub-base course, which has a thickness of 0.20 meters, and surface courses, which contains the inlets. So next, we have drainage and slope protection, which includes reinforcing steel grade 40, structural concrete, lean concrete, pipes and culverts, grounded riprap, and stone masonry. And lastly, miscellaneous structures, which contains the curbs and gutters and reflectorized markings. So next, for the work packages, we have here item 1.1, facilities for the engineers. This contains the operation and maintenance of field office for the engineer. So the work packages under this is construction and maintenance of the field office. For other general requirements, we have here the project billboard or signboard, occupational safety and health program, traffic management, which includes installation of traffic signs and deployment of traffic managers, and mobilization and demobilization. So in mobilization, we have your heavy equipment, survey equipment, materials, manpower, and demobilization of equipment. For earthwork, we have clearing and grubbing, which includes the removal of shrubs and debris and cutting of trees. Next, we have structure excavation, foundation fill, surplus common excavation, and pipe and culverts, and drain excavation for common soil. Next, we have embankment from roadway excavation with common soil. So this includes placement and layering, shapement, and compacting. For subgrade preparation, we have grading and leveling and compaction. So next is the sub-base and base course. So we have here aggregate sub-base course with a thickness of 0.20 meters. And this includes placement, grading and leveling, and compaction. For surface courses, we have your Portland cement concrete pavement. So this is unreinforced with a thickness of 0.15 meters and a curing time of 14 days. So we have here formworks, concrete pouring, leveling and finishing, curing, and removing of formworks. So next is a drainage and slope protection. So including here, is the reinforcing steel, which is grade 40, material preparation, placement, fixing, and tying. Next is structural concrete, so class A. So we have here formwork and reinforcement, concrete mixing and placement, vibration, finishing, and curing. For lean concrete, we have placement, leveling, and curing. For pipe culverts, we have placement of pipes, joint sealing, and then backfilling. For grounded riprap, class A, we have stone placement, grouting, and finishing. Next is stone masonry, which includes stone placement, mortaring, curing, and finishing. So for miscellaneous structures, we have curb and gutter. So these are cast in place. So we have formwork installation, concrete placement, shaping, and curing. And lastly, for reflectorized thermoplastic pavement markings, we have surface cleaning and preparation, layout and markings, and applying of thermoplastic. So next, we have manpower. So for the rules, we have here the project engineer, which requires a high skill level and it needs to be a licensed engineer. So there's only one project engineer in this project. Next is the site engineer. So same skill level needed for the project engineer and must be a licensed civil engineer. So only one needed for this project. For foreman, it, we need one to two which are highly skilled and have experience in construction supervision. For surveyor, we need a licensed surveyor with high skill level. So we need one to two of these. For safety officer, they must be skilled and certified in construction safety. So we need one safety officer for this project. Next is the heavy equipment operators. These need to be skilled and certified equipment operators. So we need three to five of these. And next is the skilled laborers. So they must be skilled and specialized and have specialized training in their respective trades. So we need six to eight of these. For unskilled laborers, they can be entry level or OJT. We need 10 or 8 to 10 of these. For quality control technicians, they must be skilled and knowledgeable in quality control procedures. So we need 1 to 2. And lastly, materials and or procurement officer. So they must be skilled and experienced in construction procurement. And we need one of these. So for the cost and budget, we have found 11 contracts. And for this is for the whole length of the diversion road, which started in 2019. So these are the total contracts that we have found in the internet with their respective prices. So the total cost or price for the whole 11 of these contracts is 690 million. For the costing, we have only included several of the contents for each contract and have combined it so that each in one contract it is complete with all the buhos for the concrete and the drainage protection. So here we have here for the part A for facilities for the engineers 318,000, for other general requirements and earthwork, sub-base and base course, surface courses, drainage and slope protection, and miscellaneous structures. So the total of these would cost around 107 million pesos. Moving on to the S curve, we can see here the S curve of our project. So in the third to the fourth month, we can see a very high spike in the prices of our construction. And in the sixth to eighth month, the rate of the prices are not increasing and it is maintaining at a steady level. So in general, the S curve shows that in the implementing phase or where there is buhos and excavation, this is where the prices of the project increase drastically. So for the master schedule, you can see here the facilities for the engineers, which is the construction of field office, which is around 2 months, and the maintenance of the field office, which is for the whole duration of the project. So installation of the billboard, 3 days, and conduction of safety and health program, 1 week. So traffic management, we have here installation of traffic signs for 2 weeks, and for the deployment of traffic managers, this will last for the whole duration. So mobilization and demobilization, which includes heavy equipment, survey equipment, materials, and manpower, 3 months. Clearing and grubbing, 3 months. Embankment from roadway excavation, common soil, around 1.5 months. Subgrade preparation, common material, 1.5 months. Aggregate subbase course with a thickness of 0.20 meters, 15 days. Clearing, okay, we're done with that. So we have here Portland cement concrete pavement. So for concrete pouring, 1 month. Leveling and finishing is in line with concrete pouring, so 1 month. Curing, 28 days. And removing formworks, 1 week. For reinforcing steel, we have here material preparation, placement, fixing and tying, 1.5 months. For structural concrete, Class A, we have formwork and reinforcement, 1 month. Concrete mixing and placement, 1 month. Vibration, finishing and curing, which will um, roughly around 3 months for the whole structural concrete phase. Next is the lean concrete, which includes placement, leveling, and curing, 1.5 months. Pipes and culverts, which includes placement of pipes, joint sealing, and backfilling, 1.5 months. Grouted riprap, Class A, 1.5 months. And lastly, oh, not lastly, but for stone masonry, 1.5 months. For curb and gutter, cast in place, which includes formwork installation, concrete placement, shaping and curing, almost 2 months. And lastly, reflectorized thermoplastic pavement markings. So 1 month. So the whole duration of our project, or just one contract, is 8 months. So for our overall progress, the team has acquired plans, created the project charter, also for the WBS and work packages, the S curve, the master schedule, the scope management plan, and lastly, costing and estimates. So that will be all for reporting. Thank you and have a good day.